So, you have now bested the champions of the Tempys and the Eloyan. But greater challenges still await you, young Forgeborn, as we take on the Uterra and the Nekrium champions. Prepare yourself for the next challenges of your campaign. Wait. There we are. Let's get the lights settled. Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Zwaxor of SolForge Team A1 Alliance, and I will continue with the SolForge campaigns. So yeah, let's go. Proving Grounds Uterra. We have the Uterra Initiate deck. It is composed of a few heroics, as well as just a lot of creatures. Seems to be the general idea. So yeah, let's get playing. So, if you didn't watch the last one, I encourage you to go back and do so. It has a lot of new player-friendly commentary and stuff. If you haven't watched it, this is a sort of video series where I go over the basic mechanics of the game while also playing. And I talked about most of the game situation back then, so. This is my mission to defeat the Uterradon pack, which is dinosaurs, basically. And this guy here is Oros, the Deep Woods Chosen. He is the Forgeborn of the Uterra, basically the leader of the faction. What does his voice sound like? He's like, "Praise from Korok and Ironbeard has traveled far, even to the depths of Deepmoss, capital of the Uterra. I am Oros, chosen of the Uterra. If you would challenge me, first you must learn the ways of our hunters and druids. Defeat the stampeding Uterradon pack, and prove yourself worthy of our mysteries." Okay, interesting. There's Korok. Some creatures have abilities that don't have icons. Double-click that Uterradon Rex to see what powers you might have. Will do. We can see the Uterradon Rex. Whenever another dinosaur you control enters the field, it gets +1 attack and +1 health. So this basically buffs every other dinosaur he plays. So this is a very strong first turn play for him. Since it looks like our deck is mostly about getting a lot of creatures in the field, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to play this here, because Bright Zwaxor gives me a free 1/1/3/3/5/5 token adjacent to it. I'm just going to go ahead and put one in front of his Rex to prevent 4 damage to myself and to put 1 damage on this. Hoping we would draw something big enough to take it out next turn, which we didn't on its own, but this might still work out, because what I'm going to do now, plays Grove Matriarch, solid stats, creates a token when it dies, so it's sort of similar to Bright Zwaxor, but sort of in reverse as well. I'm going to play Strength in Numbers, which gives it +1/+1 for each creature I control. Makes it an 8/10 battle. Say. The Uterra have learned to channel, if not control, the mighty beasts that dominate the wild subterranean caverns. Glowing shards enhanced by Uterran druids lend more power and strength to the already ferocious beasts. Okay, interesting. So this is basically just very basic, what you would expect from a Uterra faction deck. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Ether Hounds. It's a 3/3/5/5/7/7, pretty weak creature, but it spawns a copy of itself when you play it. And this guy gets +1 attack for each creature in other lanes you control. So he's a 6/8 now. They trade, so I've traded the other half of his card for half of my card. And here we draw Lifeblood Dryad, which is one of the more powerful cards in this deck. It says, when it enters the field, if you control a creature in every lane, each creature you control gets +1 attack and +1 health. And that adds up as it levels. +3, +3, +3, +6, +6. So this card rewards you for playing creatures in all lanes, which is what I'm doing right now. So that's great. What I'm going to do, I'm going to play this Spring Dryad, which whenever another creature enters the field under my control, it gets +1 attack, +1 health. Since we're playing all these creatures like this Bright Zwaxor, we already played 2 copies of, I basically want to get this guy leveled, because it's going to be very powerful. And since the rest of my lanes are full now, I can play this Lifeblood Dryad and get the trigger off of it. So this gets an additional attack and health because I played a creature, and this becomes big enough to trade with its Featherfang. So that's very nice. that's annoying. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play another Spring Dryad to get it leveled. And then I'm going to play this Deepwood Bear Rider. What Deepwood Bear Rider does, it's a very weak at level 1. It's a 5-2, but it's a 16-8 at level 2. That is, I believe, the most attack of any level 2 creature in the game. But at the same time, it has very sort of average health. It may be slightly on the lower side, so it's still traded for most level 2 cards. The value, however, of leveling it during player level 2 is that it's going to have 16 attack, which is enough to trade with most level 3 creatures at level 3. And you can see it only gets +2/+2 at level 3, so it doesn't grow that much between those levels. And also I get to trade with this 7/4, which is nice. And see, I get a free seedling off of this thing, which pumps my guy once more. Okay. What I'm going to play this Brightsuss Sower, which is going to get 2 triggers on this guy. And I'm going to play Ferocious Roar, which gives all my creatures +2/+2. Much like the Lifeblood Dryad, this rewards me for having a lot of creatures on the field. Which, again, seems to be the strategy of this deck. And here we draw our Lifeblood Dryad, along with 2 good creatures to play with it. So first things first, I'm going to play this Chiselhearth Hunter to get a buff on that, get it big, and then I'm going to replace this smallest seedling with the Lifeblood Dryad. And he dies. Okay, so that was the Uterradon pack, which we just defeated. Mission complete. I get a Uterradon Rex as well as a pack. Let's see what we get. So, no legendaries, no heroics either. We got a Berserk Drake as one of the ally cards. Allied is an ability that triggers when this enters the field or is played, it gets the ability listed after this keyword if you have a Tempys card in your hand. That's what Allied Tempys means. This creature, for example, has Regenerate 1, 2, and 3. And if you have a Tempys card when you play it, it's also going to have Mobility 1, 2, and 3. That sort of incentivizes playing 2 factions. Right. Next up, we have the Proving Grounds Nekrium. Are you prepared, Forgeborn? Zwaxor, the battlemage of the Tempys clans, is going to guide you here. So this is sort of, again, a very basic sort of thing. Nothing really special. We have a Flesh Fiend and an Epidemic. Oh, this is a female voice. Jeez. This is Cersei with the Zombie Legion. I must hand it to you, Initiate. Ugh. I never thought you would make it this far. You have learned the lesser skills of those other Forgeborn and their inferior factions. I am Cersei, Hand of Varna. Prove yourself against my undead legions, and you will be worthy of my favor. But should you fail, be prepared to join them. Oh, my voice cracked there. I don't do females very well. Okay. So, I'm going to play this Flesh Fiend, because this is probably the strongest card in the deck. It's a 5/5, 8/8, 15/15. When it dies, it puts a lower level version of itself onto the field, if it's level 2 or 3. So this guy, when he dies, puts this one, and when this dies, it puts this one. So yeah, it just levels very, very well, basically. And then I'm going to play this Deathseeker. The reason I'm going to do that is because this card is in my deck. I'm not going to play it now, this Grave Pact. It says, destroy that creature you control, destroy tech level 1 creature. So with a card like Deathseeker, which is a 1/1 at all levels, but put a 5/5, 10/10, and 15/15 creature onto the field when it dies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this in an empty lane and hope to draw another Grave Pact next turn. Zombie Legion. Those that sought out immortality now stand as a legion that is neither living nor truly dead. The lowest Nekrium cased, their icy souls constantly hunger for the life of the living. Oh, the reason also I'm not blocking this is because it has the ability when it deals battle damage to a level 1 creature, destroy that creature. So if it damages anything on its own level or lower, it's just going to kill it outright. And I'd rather avoid that. So what I'm going to play here. I'm going to play this Catacomb Spider. And then I'm going to play Call of the Week on this Blightwalker. Or am I? That's a good question. How does this look? This card is very good to play as a level 1 during player level 2, as an underdrop, so to speak. because it has 8 attack, which trades with something like a Deepwood Bear Rider, for example. So it's not really something I'm anxious to level again, because an 11.5 is not that good. 17.13 is fine. But it's at its best as a level 1 card. So, since the creature I can play doesn't really go in either of these lanes, I am just going to Call the Weak this Blightwalker. Call the Weak destroys a creature with 4 or lower, 8 or lower, or 14 or lower attack. So getting that level is very valuable. Corpsecrawler is a good example of a card that synergizes with Deathseeker. Oh, he goes right ahead and kills it. That's fine. Okay, so what can I do here? This creature has Regenerate 4. It's a very small creature, but right now I can't actually kill it with my spider because it's just going to deal 4 damage and heal 4 every turn. So what I am going to do is I'm going to play this Gloom Fiend and give it -1 attack and health. And then I'm going to play this Corpsecrawler, sacrifice my spirit, because my spirit is going to die to the Blightwalker anyways. I'd rather just leave him with a 1/4 that doesn't do anything. Like, I can take 1 damage a turn, that's fine. And then I'm going to activate the Catacomb Spider, which gives another creature Regenerate. And I'm going to put that on the Corpsecrawler because it's taking 6 damage this turn. Which means that because of this symbol, meaning it's not going to attack on its own, it's actually going to get at least 4 more health. Circe calls you, rise again. Look out, Forgeborn. Your opponent has increased in rank and summoned an additional zombie to the battlefield. Wow, so she just gets free zombies. Well, that's nice. That's pretty good for her. Right. So. Okay. I'm going to play this Darkshaper Savant no matter what, because Darkshaper Savant has the ability that when you play a level 1 Nekrium card on its level 2, you may have target creature and opponent controls gets -3 attack, -3 health. And at level 3, it's 2 or less and -5. So the idea with this card is, as with the Steel Shaper Savant in the previous video, there's this entire cycle of Savants, which makes your under-leveled plays more powerful later in the game. But I'm going to leave this Blightwalker alone, because as soon as I draw a level 2 creature, I can just put it in front of it without no problem. I'm going to play the Zombie Titan. Zombie Titan is a card that becomes stronger when it's in a side lane. And when it is in the side lane, it's like a 6/6, 10/10, 16/16 with Regenerate. So that's quite strong. I play that there. I'm going to give this additional Regenerate to... because my spider's going to die now. I'm going to give it to the Gloom Fiend, because why not? Because this is going to heal up to full next turn anyways. And then I'm going to play the Darkshaper in front of the zombie to kill the zombie. Here we draw our other heroic card in the deck, which is Epidemic. Epidemic is a very strong card, situationally, because it gives every creature my opponent controls -2 attack, -2 health. Right here is actually going to be very good, because you can see these two creatures only have 1 and 2 attack. So they don't really do much on their own. Whereas this creature has 6 attack, but my Zombie Titan has 6 health. So if I Epidemic, it's going to be too small to kill my Zombie Titan. And then I'm going to play this Flesh Fiend, because if my opponent plays a card like Grave Pact, I want to be able to kill all of his like stragglers. And because my Zombie Titan has Regenerate, it's going to slowly heal back up from this. So that's nice. And he is all up with these Regenerate creatures. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is... I'm going to play this Raleigh Ambusher in front of the Blight Witch. This is similar to Marrow Fiend in that it doesn't level like terrifically, but it blocks. It's a good underdrop. And it's just going to kill this Blight Witch, and I'm going to be left with a 7/3. I'm going to battle. I'm actually just going to play this Graveghast in front of the zombie, because it does a similar thing to the zombie in that it has a high Regenerate value, and because this has more Regenerate than this has attack, and the other way around, they're just going to punch each other mindlessly until one of them dies. Which is not going to happen. Okay, so this is actually a very powerful play. I drew the card called Group Meal. Group Meal is similar to Epidemic in that it gives each creature my opponent controls -2 attack, At the same time, it actually gives each creature I control +2 attack. In this particular board state, that is golden, because this will suddenly be big enough to kill off the Duskspire, because it's going to go up to 5. This is going to go up to 9 and be big enough to kill the infantry. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to play another ambusher. And he is left at 2 health. And we win. Sweet. That wasn't too hard. And that is the mission complete. We get his Wrath, the Dread Knight of Varna, which gives all your zombies +2, 4, and 8 regenerate. The very good card in the zombie deck. And we're going to open this pack we got. Here we get a heroic card. We get the Steelforged Avatar. Steelforged Avatar is part of the Avatar cycle that all synergize very well in a mono-faction deck. Steelforged Avatar, when you play it, gets +1/+1 for each alloying card in your hand, and then that's 2 and 3 at level 2 and 3. This means that when you play it, if it's the first card you play on your turn, and your deck consists only of alloying card, it's going to be a 7/7 every time, with armor 1 even. That's very strong that early in the game. And then it's going to be 11/11 and 15/15. The Tempys one has mobility 1, 2, 3. The Uterra one has breakthrough at all levels, and the Nekrium one has regenerate 1, 2, 3 at all levels. So there are some very powerful creatures that you almost always play if you're going to play mono faction anyways. So yeah, that was the Proving Grounds, Uterra, and Nekrium. Thank you all very much for watching this video. And next up, we're going to do Uterra Mastery, and I believe the other one is Nekrium Mastery. So we'll get excited for that. Yeah. Please do not forget to go follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, and check out a1sf.blogspot.com for more in-depth strategy content on the game of SolForge by the team A1 Alliance, which I am a part of. And past that, I will see you all for the next video. Stay classy, Forgeborn.